Stuck in Vermont.
Because we love making maple syrups, and therefore we love to tell everyone about it.
Welcome to Stuck in Vermont, brought to you by 7 Days and sponsored by New England Federal Credit Union. My name's Ava Solberger. We are here in Randolph Center at Silloway Maple. And check it out, there's steam coming out of the sugar shack.
Well, that's right on syrup there. Well, it's better at the beginning of the season, but it's still pretty darn good. It's nice dark syrup today.
Whenever we're boiling, people will say, oh, we saw the steam, coming out of the cupola, and they stop by.
Vermont produces half of the nation's maple syrup, about 2 million gallons a year, and about 3,000 of those gallons are made here at this family-run, wood-fired, solar-powered sugar shack.
We do love it. And it's a wonderful way to raise children. I have 6 children, and you can see them all around here.
I like smelling the maple smell.
Working with the land to produce something. It's very elemental, it's very rewarding.
I like collecting the sap from the sap stands. Well, we do get to eat a lot of maple candy.
My family has been sugaring in this area since the 1940s. Over 20 members of the family right here in the neighborhood. My nephew Paul runs the sugaring operation, my son John runs the dairy operation, and I help out around the edges.
My grandmother always did all the canning, so we would boil the maple syrup and bring it down, and she would do all the canning and labeling.
It's the third generation running the maple operation at the moment that tap about 6,000 trees and make around 3,000 gallons of syrup a year.
Like my grandfather was the original boiler, and then my dad really enjoyed it, so he did it, and then I really enjoyed it, so I did it.
When my dad's dad started boiling and how it's ran through the family.
My family's been doing it for generations, so I guess I just grew up making syrup, and then we've added some technology along the way to do it how we do it now.
We went from maybe an average of 300 gallons a year to 3,000 gallons a year.
There are miles of plastic tubing that the sap runs downhill in under vacuum, and then some of it is trucked in, some of it is pumped into this sugar house.
You collect sap and then you put it in boiling? No, you have to have it go through the osmosis first.
It's pure sap, it's just had some of the water removed.
Then it goes through a reverse osmosis machine, which takes out 3/4 of the water.
And then you boil it down. You boil it down until it has a certain amount of sweetness.
Yeah, hours of boredom with moments of panic, I guess, yeah.
So he always said, let's go home and rest while we do chores. So
When the sap's running, people are in the woods. When it's time to tap, we're out there with headlamps. You really have to love it because it's not a 9-to-5 job. So it doesn't matter how tired you are, that doesn't factor in. It doesn't matter if you had something else planned that day, it doesn't factor in. Sap's running, so we run with it. Maybe growing up with that farming mentality where you're producing milk, you're producing meat, you're producing vegetables, it's just natural that you would want to produce maple syrup, and it's like you're giving. You have something to offer.
I love that we're sort of all on the same team. We're working together, doing something that this family's been doing since the 40s.
We've always loved having visitors come. My grandfather started that with schools, inviting them by the school bus load. He would have people come visit and from all around the world, and then we'd be shipping syrup all around the world. Well, it's a pretty big deal when the governor comes to your sugar house, so.
Fun to visit with everybody and explain to them how syrup is made, how it used to be made, and carried with buckets and hauled with tractors and horses, and now it's all a pumping system that moves the sap.
Like my uncle, who's, he grew up doing this. He's the oracle, as we used to call him when I was a kid.
Oh, it's always been my passion. I wrote a book, see that red book in the back, called The Farm Life's Journal. I just have always loved telling people about farm life.
For us, the sugar house was a communal gathering place, and some people would just come to eat dinner, some people would come help out and move wood,
And then there's always friends, strangers, out-of-staters.
Now that we have this sugar house, it's kind of turned into a year-round kind of touristy thing.
We also have jobs and we get to get paid. We help $3 an hour. Yeah, we help a lot.
My dad did it, and I just like to do everything my dad did. To be a boiler, you have to be very particular. You also have to be very patient.
I would like to do what my grandma does, like can it all and put it in packages. I would like to boil the sap, like fill the barrels.
And he held a grade kid up and asked her what her favorite grade syrup was, and she said my daddy's syrup.
Family dynamics change over the years. People get married, new people come in. I love that largely the same people stay. So we would not be the close family we are today if it wasn't for this time of year. This time of year in haying, really, kind of brings everyone together.
I'm so proud. Their dad would be proud. My dad would be proud.
For sure, sap runs deep in the veins of this family. You can visit Silloway Maple year-round, or you can catch the family at the Burlington and Montpelier farmers markets. Sugar and snow. We'll get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. One of my favorite sweet treats. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Sign up for our weekly email alerts. I asked on Facebook what sugar shack I should go to. You guys resoundingly said Silloway Maple. Thanks for the tip.
Can you imagine living in a place where there wasn't maple syrup?
That would be like terrible.
It would be horrible.
It was much worse a month and a half ago. The ruts were 6 inches deep all the way.
Well, I think one of my soon-to-be videos is mud season video, so I'm looking for a good muddy road. This might be a good one over here.